Hi there, yogis. Few minutes late. Apologize for that. I had some technical glitch. My name is Amanda, and I'd like to welcome you to our PN practice. Um, well, the end is nearly in sight, although I've really enjoyed doing these classes and certainly have learned a lot. From what I understand, the studios will be back open again next week with a reduced and a changed schedule. And of course, with really reduced classes. I heard the number 7 per class mentioned. So make sure you book your favorite classes. I'm sure Helen will be in touch with you very soon with all the information you need. So here we go. A nice practice tonight where we're going to learn to use our energy wisely. So the asanas are fairly simple, nothing heavy about them, but we use that opportunity in these asanas to learn how to use our energy wisely. Enjoy your practice. Let's start in child's pose. So this is not extended child. This is just knees closer together, and have a little gap there if you need the space. And then bring your buttocks back to your heels, your arms along your sides, and then rest your forehead on the mat. Now, I know a lot of us haven't been moving around a lot, and I'm certainly guilty of that. You might need to, throughout practice, support your body a little. So if it feels like you need a little support, try a block under your chest or under your forehead. Close your eyes. Allow your awareness to be here in the now so that we can practice mindfully. When we practice mindfully, we learn how to use our energy wisely. So Brahmacharya, the moderation of the senses, is one of the key practices yoga offers for managing sensory cravings. It's the fourth of the 5 yamas, or strengths, which help us cultivate self-awareness and transform habits that are out of sync with our spiritual aspirations. So relax. Relax your body. Start seeing where you might be using energy to be in this asana in child's pose. Maybe in the thighs, on the lower back, maybe your shoulders. Brahmacharya, moderation of the senses, learning to use our energy wisely. Now slide your hands under your shoulders. Come up slowly as you take a breath in. And then move your feet out of the way. Step back and stretch your feet out in front of you. We're going to take caterpillar, which is a seated forward fold. So it really helps to set the body up properly. So anchor your heels and walk your sit bones back. And then just sit nice and upright. And as if you are a practiced yogi, you'll know that you can support your body, and there are many things you can do. You could simply roll up your mat and sit on that, or sit on a block or a bolster. And of course, you can draw your knees up as well. So we start out right at the tops of the sit bones. Take a breath in here through your upper chest, and then walk forward. Just there where you meet significant resistance, stop. And then, and of course, you could have your knees up all the way. The areas are still being addressed because you can feel where the sensations start. Then allow your back to softly round, looking to drop forward, maybe a block between the knees to support your head. Just notice your breathing. When we practice, um, we either have tension sometimes that stops us if we really have to strain the muscles to get or stay in the pose, or compression, and we have compression flesh to flesh. After lockdown, the belly starts getting in the way. I know all about that, and it might come up and stop you, come up against the thighs and stop you there. Or you could get flesh to bone or bone to bone. And when I'm saying bone to bone, I think particularly of many, but back bends, for example, when the spine starts curving and the vertebrae start pressing up against each other, that's compression. So those are various forms of compression that we can have in our practice. So just take this opportunity to notice where you are using strain, tension to be in this asana, and where you might feel compressed in this asana. Remember, relax your body. Relax your body. So we're addressing mostly here a little bit in the hamstrings, very easy little lateral rotation in the hip sockets. I certainly feel a really nice release across my lower back. And if your shoulders are rounded, you also activate this area of the upper back. Then bring your hands to the mat and very slowly roll up. For many of us, there'll be a lot of feedback now coming from the body. Here, just lean back on your hands, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. It feels good, let your head hang back. So the key here is to counter what we've just done. So we're creating a little bit of a back bend here by lifting the chest up. Feels nice to point your toes here. Make your way back center. We're going to take another forward fold. So remember, same things apply to help you come into it. Hamstrings are tight, sit on something. But for all of us, just open as wide as you comfortably can. And then again, rock your sit bones back so you're just at the top and almost to the front of your sit bones. And remember, knees bent. The idea is not what it looks like, it is where you're going to feel the sensations in the target area. Once you're there, take a breath in, lift your upper chest. Now we're just lengthening very softly the spine by doing that, and then come forward. You can use what you have, a bunch of pillows or something if you need some support. Remember, again, it is not how deep can you go, it is where you are feeling the sensations. Once you hit that area of significant resistance, relax there. Notice what your breathing feels like. Notice what your body feels like. Yoga postures are a powerful tool for redirecting attention and energy. Combined with breath awareness, they draw the focus inward rather than towards sensory stimulation. But perhaps the most effective practice for restoring internal balance is japa, mental repetition of a mantra. During meditation, all the senses are rested. The experience of meditating with a mantra gradually transforms emotional energies consumed by the senses and replaces them with the pleasure of concentration and sense control. Then, despite the draw of sense objects, the mind finds satisfaction within itself. Very often we feel at a certain point in the asana that we can go a little deeper. So get a sense of sinking deeper rather than pushing deeper. The breathing will give you clues as to what might be going on inside. Short and irregular breath might mean there's something going on, you're struggling somewhere physically or maybe in the mind or in the heart. Deep, regular breathing tells us everything's fine. And again, come up really slowly and take a breath in as you come up. Bring your feet to the mat. Again, here, lean back on your hands. Push your mat away, lift your shoulders, roll them back, lift your chest. And you could also here just drop your knees from one side to the other. And then from here, we're going to make our way into extended child's pose. So just like child's pose that we started with, just open your knees comfortably wide. Go as wide as you comfortably can. Your big toes are together. And then again here, let your hips sink back. This time your arms are overhead. Again, support maybe under the chest or the head if you need it. Take a moment again here to become comfortable with where you are. Notice the areas that are exerting energy to have you here in this asana. Then the child's pose is very nice for opening the groins. Now, put a teeny little bit of compression on the very, very lower back because our knees are so wide open. Shoulders are relaxed. Mind is relaxed. Breath is relaxed. Awareness of your breathing and the sensations in your body. You can stay here and extend the child, or you can just come up slightly, bring the knees a little closer, and take classic child. Keeping your awareness on your breath and your body also serves the same purpose as we might with chakras, repeating a mantra. It just keeps bringing the awareness to here in the now, just what you're doing right now. Slowly make your way up. Bring your knees together and slide forward on your belly. We're going to take Sphinx pose here. I want to put my toes in the fire. So lying on your belly, prop your upper body up with your elbows, and that means that the elbows are directly under the shoulders. That is a good place to have them because that means we don't have to engage any muscle to keep the upper body supported. And then move your hips up, down according to whatever the sensations in your lower back. Feet can be a little wider or closer together. Then as you take a breath and slide your chest forward, lift it up and roll your shoulders back, and then in a vertical way, just let everything drop. So now we're opening the shoulders, working into the lower back. Support your head with a block or just your fists stacked on top of each other. And when we are this still, the mind has a way of wandering. Just gently bring it back to here in the now, in what you're doing. And keep checking if you're using any muscular effort to stay here and see if you can change that a little bit. Can you maybe shift something a little bit? Lying on our bellies now, so the breath is very noticeable, how the breathing feels. A very helpful way also of keeping the awareness on the breath is imagining a button on your spine. It sits here at the bottom of your spine. As you breathe in with your breath, that button moves up along the spine to the top of the spine. And as you breathe out, that moves down. So keeping your mind on that and the sensations that you're feeling in your body. If you notice any tension, breathe into that area and awareness on the breath, awareness on the sensations in your body. And just slide down, bring your chest to the mat, put your left cheek on the mat and your arms at 90 degrees on the floor. And then draw your right knee up. Move around a little bit until you are comfortable. I beg your pardon. This is a really good asana to check in with, where you might be using energy to be here, to be in this asana. See if you can shift something or just breathe and relax that. Then come out slowly and take the other side. Right cheek on the mat now and left knee drawn up. Draw your knee a little higher or a little away from the body, just to see where you can feel comfortable. Button moving up the spine on an inhale, down the spine on an exhale. Come back center and very slowly make your way back up. Nice here to move the body in a mindful way. Have your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Take a few caps breaths. On an inhale, tilt your pelvis forward, belly drops, collarbones open, up. And on an out breath, really give your back a big stretch out. Make your way into a seated position. You're going to take a very gentle twist of the spine. So, a reminder again, you could just sit on something. So, your left leg is out in front of you, and your right foot is just on the outside of your left knee. So, we will notice here that when we do that, pelvis starts tilting backward and the spine rounds. So, just bring yourself right back to the tops of your sit bones. And then, of course, you could, if you like, just stay here, or if you like, tuck your left heel to your right buttock. Then just keep those sit bones even on the mat. Your left hand is on the outside of your knee. So let's keep this one nice and soft. We won't take the Ashtanga version. So just right hand on the outside of the left knee, right hand behind you, right behind the spine. Take a breath in and lift up. Breathe out and turn your shoulders. Your hips are facing forward and your shoulders are turning towards your right. Just keep your spine nice and soft and long. See what you can do about relaxing your shoulder. Your gaze is over your right shoulder. It's really nice here to close your eyes. Coming back center, change around. Remember, bottom foot can be long or tucked in. Sit bones flat on the mat, lift up and then turn to the other side. Awareness on your breath, awareness on the sensations. Make your way back center. And here now we're going to take a reclined, supported reclined goddess. So soles of your feet are together. Put something under your back. Now, if you have a bolster, run it along your spine or across, just around or under the shoulder blades. And of course, you could do the same with a block. It's really nice to experiment with these a little bit and see where you can really relax. Here, we let the head hang back to really open the throat and stimulate the thyroid gland. That's a little bit much on your neck or on the back of your neck, and just support your head with the rock. Your hands are either wide open, just leave them wide open, or rest them just on your upper body. Close your eyes and relax. Now we're opening the hips very nicely, pushing a little bit in the lower back and the kidney area, really opening the chest and the shoulders. This is definitely one of my favorite asanas. So in a very literal way, Brahmacharya translates as walking in God consciousness. Practically speaking, this means that Brahmacharya turns the mind inward, balances the senses, leads to freedom from dependencies and craving. Yogis tell us that when the mind is freed from domination by the senses, sensory pleasures are replaced by inner joy. Practically speaking, Brahmacharya turns the mind inward, balances the senses, leads to freedom from dependencies and from craving. If this feels too much in the hip and in the groins, then maybe just slide your feet forward a little. Really nice to notice how your rib cage expands and contracts as you breathe. And you could follow the movements of your chest rather than the button moving up and down your spine. Very gentle with yourself. Just bring your knees back together. Roll over to your left hand side, your yin side. Take a breath in and make your way up into a seated position so that you can take your block and your bolster out of the way.
And just roll back again. And you could just hug your knees to your chest, or you could take happy baby. Here, your shoulders are relaxed on the mat. Draw your feet down, and then gently start moving your tailbone down towards the mat. Little rock feels good. And then put your feet down on the outer edges of your mat, so they're a little bit wider than your hips. Open your arms, press on the backs of your hands, lift your shoulders, and slide your shoulder blades down so that they rest nicely on the mat. And then drop both your knees over towards your left. Now, sometimes, again, a little support here might help, but because your feet are quite far apart, this might be quite nice to do. You can, of course, move your feet up or down a little bit until you can relax your body. And then turn your gaze over towards your right hand. Slowly roll everything back center so that your spine is back and supported on the mat. Reset your feet if you like, if you need to, and then roll over and drop your knees over towards your right. Now your gaze is down your left arm. Although it's really nicer to close your eyes. Just be, notice if you are exerting any effort to be in this asana, change what you need to change. Awareness on your breath, sensations in your body. You gather your awareness so that you're here in the now. Slowly roll back to center again. Now you might want to just go straight into Shavasana here, or maybe you need to just hug your knees in a little bit. Your body will tell you what. When you're ready, just slide your feet down your mat. Stay a little bit open, your feet are comfortably apart. Move your buttocks a little bit in or out or up or down so that we have this very gentle arch in the back. Arms are open. Again, lift your shoulders, rotate them back. Maybe just rock your head a little bit from side to side until it rests naturally in the center. Close your eyes. Relax the muscles on your face. That little 11 between the eyebrows. Just let that relax. Feel your ears and your jaw relax. Relax your eyeballs and your eyelids. Relax your tongue just comfortably on the roof of your mouth. Relax the back of your tongue and your throat. That helps the brain relax. Relax and broaden and spread out your shoulders. Your hip bones drop away from each other. Your knees and your feet just fall open. Just let your body breathe your natural and quiet breath. Feel every bone, every muscle melt into the mat.
Brahmacharya teaches us to recognize that moment of just enough. So we don't move past it into uncomfortable excess. Maybe it's by pushing away the plate of French fries or using our pent up energy for a run. By focusing inward, we keep our bodies healthy and energetic. And hey, there are some things we are better off avoiding altogether. Where in your life could you practice moderation? You could stay here for as long as you like, or otherwise just start noticing again body and your breath just as it is. Notice your heartbeat. Wiggle your toes and fingers a little. Stretch your arms over your head, bring your feet together, point your toes. Deep breath in and big stretch. Then hug your knees to your chest and rock on over to your left hand side. Stay there for a little while. Press your right hand into the mat just in front of your heart. Take a breath in and sit up. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra and rest your thumbs between your eyebrows. And it's when we see the beauty and the wisdom and we honor all those that is there in all of us that we say Namaste. Namaste Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. Thank you, yogis. Hope I'll see you soon. Take good care of yourselves.